Hey, hello, my name is Kimmel. I'm the CEO of the World Baseball Academy here in Fort Wayne, and we're a nonprofit operation that serves about 5,000 kids in different baseball programs throughout the year. And what I can imagine right now is we've got a lot of athletes and parents frustrated and discouraged because of the COVID-19 pandemic that has plagued youth sports. And we know a lot of athletes are at home when normally they're on campus. A lot of athletes are sitting at their house rather than on the baseball field or at practice or playing games at this point. And so I got a few words of encouragement, a couple insights, especially for athletes during this unprecedented pause in sports. Anytime there's a pause, anytime we kind of have a setback, it's a chance to recalibrate. It's a chance to kind of look at our perspectives and make sure that we're realigning what really matters and really focusing on what can we control. And those are all leadership principles. And so a couple thoughts for some of our athletes that may be discouraged right now during this time. So I got 4 insights that I'll walk you through that may be helpful, again, during this unprecedented pause in youth sports. One, the first thing is for our athletes to understand that, look, you've earned the right to grieve, meaning you've earned the right to be upset, to be frustrated, to be angry. We need to be sensitive to our athletes on the amount of energy, time, sweat, blood, and tears that goes in to crafting their ability to perform on the field and to put in all the effort to their sport that they dearly love. And so we don't want to minimize this and say it's not a big deal. It is a big deal in the life of an athlete because of the investment of time, energy, and effort, all this kind of thing. So the first thing is understand you've earned a right to be frustrated. It's part of the process of dealing with something like this. And so that's number one, is understand that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to be frustrated. Number 2 is kind of the flip side of that. While it's okay to be frustrated and angry and all those emotions that are going to come with this kind of situation, number 2, athletes, is we do need to understand that we've got to be able to get our mental mindset and identity refocused. Meaning we need to be able to move past the adversity and refocus on what can we control. And that's our mental makeup. For baseball athletes, we know that the big differential between a minor league athlete and a pro athlete is not the physical ability. That's very rare that it's the physical ability that makes the difference. The majority of the difference is their mental makeup. Who can deal with the adversity and who can mentally refocus and overcome that adversity at the highest level. That's really a big part of player development. The older you get, the more advanced you get. It's more of the mental side. That's not to minimize the physical side, but the mental side really kind of takes over the more you progress. And so my second point on this is athletes, whether you're young or old, understand that we've got to be able to move past the frustration into a positive mindset. What can we control? How do we have self-talk that is encouraging? How do we mentally, visually prepare ourselves for the season once we're able to get back on the field? And so the first part, number 1, it's okay to be frustrated. But number 2 is we've got to be able to move past that perseverance with the discipline of focus. And I think what helps that is our third point, is keeping a regular routine, keeping a regular schedule. Be disciplined. That's a core character value here at the WBA along with perseverance. But to overcome this adversity, a big part of it is being disciplined. If you can, for example, wake up at a normal time, eat breakfast like you normally would, knock out your schoolwork with an aggression to get it done with excellence, and then give yourself time to have a routine for your practice. Now, this practice is going to look radically different than it did a few weeks ago before the COVID-19 pandemic kind of hit aggressively worldwide. But figure out, with all the resources online, figure out how to do individual workouts, but be disciplined, be routine. You may have more time to get more workouts in than before, but keeping a regular schedule amongst adversity or amongst the crisis is critical. Keep that discipline intact. The last point, the fourth point, this one's pretty important. I think this goes beyond the platform of sports and beyond the playing field. But you athletes, you got something in you that's pretty special. And that's this competitive drive. Parents, you see it in your athlete. Coaches, you see it in your athlete. Coaches trying to develop it. But that competitive drive, when used for the right reasons, can be pretty impactful. Pretty amazing the impact you can have when you align that competitiveness with a positive impact, with a positive outlet. What I mean by this is there are a lot of needs around you right now, whether it be your neighbors, your friends, your classmates, people that you know on different teams. There are a lot of needs and there's a lot of uncertainty right now. There's a lot of adults that are fearing financial impact from this COVID-19. Obviously the health factor is impacting everybody, but you athletes, here's my point on this. You can leverage your competitive drive to help others in need. You can leverage that competitiveness if you can figure out, how can I get fixated and focused on a way to help others and use that competitive drive to achieve that with excellence. Oh, the sky's the limit what you can accomplish. For example, I saw Grace College, some of their athletes on campus, they were trying to figure out what can they do, and they chose to run, I think constantly, for about 3 days. They teamed up and they took turns constantly running to try to raise funds for COVID-19 people that were being victims of this, that have been negatively impacted. Either they need financial support, they're trying to raise some funds. But the athletes used that competitive drive, that competitiveness, to come up with an idea that could raise awareness or raise funds to help others. And that's my encouragement to you during this COVID-19. Understand it's okay to be frustrated. You've earned that. Understand we got to be able to move past that with a mental focus and overcome that with being mentally prepared for when the season does come back. And then number 3, we got to remember that keeping a routine can really be helpful for us. It can help us stay disciplined. And number 4, let's use that competitive drive during this pause to have an impact on others. Friends, because your impact on others, that will be your true legacy. Enjoy your time in sports. One day that day is going to come to an end, but don't let the sports define you. Your character, your perseverance, your discipline, your impact on others, that's really what matters. So I hope this helps a little bit on the encouragement side. Stay strong, stay focused, stay disciplined, and enjoy the family time. Take care. God bless.